How do demographics factor in the interest in certain games?
Oh, it completely changes depending on the game you're talking about. So let's take a first-person shooter, for example. A PlayStation game where you play with a controller in front of your television and you're from the first-person perspective and you're shooting other guys. That's a male 18 to 34-year-old demo. And then let's switch gears for a minute and let's talk about a mobile game where you're playing slots, a casino-based mobile game. Now you're talking about a primarily female audience, age 40 or 45 and over. So two completely different consumer groups, different genres of games, but they're both gamers. The definition of gamer has expanded. The average age of a gamer, if you factor them all in, over 30. So there's a lot of new genres out there that are appealing to different crowds. The old stereotype of a gamer was like a 15-year-old kid in his mother's house playing on a console, and that is still true. But it's just important to note that gamer means a lot more than that these days. A 60-year-old woman playing on her phone can spend more money on an app, than an 18-year-old playing at home on his console. That will ever have spent, on games. So these days, it's just the genre of the game dictates the audience.
With all the research that you've done with various games, have there been any that have surprised you with the results? Either something that tested really well and didn't happen, or something that didn't test well that did great, or something that you just discovered and it was a massive success? Any surprises there?
Yeah. Usually when we're bringing in a high sample size of gamers to get their hand on it, and we've recruited properly, and we're hitting the target audience, and those are the people we're talking to, and we're showing a concept or a product, and consumers are wildly positive about it in the groups, I can't recall a specific case where it came out and no one was interested in it, because it's just the law of large numbers. You recruit a lot of gamers, a lot of people like it, the population's going to like it, as if you did a good job on your targeting. There could be cases that I've seen of surprise where we've tested with a small sample of people. So it's not enough people to really make an objective statement about if it's good or bad. Some people really loved it, some people didn't like it so much, and then it came out and it was either a flop or a wild success, and it was a bit unpredictable. It mostly can be controlled by the size of the sample that you recruit. That's the short answer. Small sample, more subjective, more prone to surprises. Large sample, more statistically reliable, less prone to surprises.
What would you consider to be the perfect game for a developer who wants to make the most money and get the biggest bang for all of their efforts? What is the perfect game?
No, it's certainly a mobile game, and it's certainly a free-to-play game, because those are the ones that have been the most successful financially and are accessible to companies that may not have the retail relationships necessary or the publishing relationships necessary to get on every shelf in the world. So if you're one of the few companies that has those relationships, a boxed console product can be wildly successful, can be the perfect game. For new companies starting up these days that want to make the perfect game, definitely mobile, definitely free to play, definitely a game that can be played by a variety of demographics. There are mobile games that are not specific to one group, but have broad appeal from young to old. You certainly want to capture that wide net, and the ones that have done it really well have had wildly addictive gameplay, and companies in Europe right now are certainly dominating the tops of the charts. So.